Hello, XRP Army, and welcome back to the Crypto Republic, your go-to channel for the latest energy updates and digital assets. Before we get started with today's business, make sure to smash that like button, ring that bell, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic, bringing you updates every day at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a reminder, this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. What if I told you that one of the most controversial assets in crypto could still be massively misunderstood? Not because people have not heard of it, but because almost nobody is looking at the math correctly. Right now, there are people laughing at the idea that holding just 1,000 XRP could ever become meaningful wealth. They say it is impossible. They say the market cap would be too high. They say XRP had its moment, blah, 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 blah. But here is the problem. Most people making those arguments are not actually calculating anything. They are reacting emotionally. Today, we're going to break down this number using real numbers, real market history, and realistic scenario modeling, not hype, not guarantees, no XRP to infinity predictions. Just pure math based on total crypto market growth, XRP market dominance, and historical data that already happened before. Because whether you love XRP, the anointed one, or hate it, the numbers are extremely interesting. And by the end of this video, you're going to see three completely different XRP scenarios for the end of 2026. A conservative case, a base case, and a highly optimistic case. Some of these outcomes may surprise you, especially when you realize how small changes in the market dominance can completely change the future valuation of XRP. And remember, this video is strictly for educational entertainment purposes only, should not be considered financial advice. Crypto markets are highly volatile and all investments carry risk. Now let's dissect this data. Let's start with where XRP stands right now. At the time of this recording, XRP is trading around $1.37. Its market capitalization is approximately $84.79 billion, and XRP dominance sits around 3.3% to 3.8% of the total crypto market. Now that number means a lot, more than most people realize, because XRP's future price is not only about XRP itself, it is also about how large the entire crypto ecosystem becomes. That is the key concept most people miss. Back in 2022, the entire crypto market dropped to roughly $800 billion. Write that number down. But by June of 2025, the total crypto market exploded to approximately $4.2 trillion. Write that number down and compare. That is an absolutely massive expansion in capital. Now compare that to XRP dominance historically. In 2017, XRP dominance reached approximately 25%. That means 1/4 of the entire crypto market was to XRP, the anointed one. Write that down. Then in 2025, XRP dominance climbed again to around 5.4%. Today, we're sitting closer to the 3% range. So when people instantly dismiss the possibility of XRP moving significantly higher, you have to ask an important question. What happens if the total crypto market continues growing while XRP regains even a fraction of its historical dominance? Because mathematically, that changes everything, folks. And this is where the analysis starts getting interesting. The framework for these scenarios is actually very simple. XRP market cap equals total crypto market cap multiplied by XRP dominance. And then XRP price equals XRP market cap divided by circulating supply. That's it. No magic, no unrealistic assumptions, just market structure, mathematics. Now, obviously, nobody can predict the future with certainty, but what we can do is model probabilities based on historical behavior. And historically, crypto market caps grow aggressively during expansion cycles, and XRP dominance has already shown it can fluctuate dramatically. That gives us the foundation for three scenarios we are about to cover, and honestly, the conservative scenario alone may surprise people. Real fast, if the kind of analysis you just heard is valuable to you, I want to let you know about something. One good tip from the pits can easily pay for your entire year subscription. If you want the deeper macro research and learn how to take advantage of all of this, come and join over 550 active traders and investors in the Patreon, the Crypto Republic Desk monthly community. And welcome to all the new members joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always about being prepared for what's coming. And being a financial mercenary is about getting ahead for ourselves and our family. If you're interested, click the link in the pinned comment below. And now let's get back to the data. Let's begin with the conservative scenario. This assumes the total crypto market simply returns to the previous peak of 4.2 trillion, and XRP dominance rises modestly to 5%. That 5% figure is important because XRP already hit roughly 5.4% dominance during 2025. So this is not some extreme fantasy number. Now let's do the math. 4.2 trillion multiplied by 5% gives XRP a market cap of approximately 210 billion. Using the current supply estimates, that places XRP around $3.40 per coin. That means 1,000 XRP would be worth approximately $3,400. Now compare that today at roughly $1.37 per XRP. 1,000 XRP is worth around $1,370. So even this conservative scenario would represent a very significant increase. And notice something important here. This scenario does not require XRP to dominate crypto. It does not require a $10 trillion market. It does not require unrealistic assumptions. It simply assumes crypto revisits previous highs and XRP regains moderate strength. That alone changes the valuation dramatically. And this is where many people start realizing how sensitive crypto assets are to market cap expansion. Before we move on, I want to do a quick check-in. If you're finding value in this video so far, please take a moment to hit the like button. It significantly helps the channel reach more people. I would also love to hear your perspective on whether you think XRP could realistically regain 5% market dominance. Again, so share your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and feel free to share this video with a colleague or friend who might benefit from it. All right, let's get back to this. Scenario 2. Let's move into the base case scenario. This is where things start becoming much more aggressive. The assumptions here are total crypto market cap reaches 6 trillion and XRP dominance rises to 10%. Now, before people panic and say that's impossible, remember, XRP already achieved roughly a quarter, 25% dominance historically. So 10% is actually well below its historical peak. Now let's calculate it. 6 trillion multiplied by 10% gives XRP a market cap of approximately 600 billion. That translates to roughly $9.71 per XRP, meaning 1,000 XRP would be worth approximately $9,710. Now think about that for a second. That's a completely different conversation compared to where XRP trades today. And the reason this scenario matters is because it combines two very realistic macro ideas: continued crypto market growth and XRP becoming more relevant within the ecosystem. Whether people agree with XRP, the anointed one, fundamentally or not, it undeniably remains one of the largest and most recognized digital assets in the world. And throughout crypto history, assets with strong liquidity, global recognition, and institutional awareness tend to benefit heavily during expansion cycles. Now, does this mean XRP will hit these numbers? Absolutely not. Nobody can guarantee future prices. But mathematically, the scenario is understandably when you look at total market expansion, historical dominance, and previous crypto cycles. That is why separating emotion from data is so important in these discussions. One thing most investors underestimate is how quickly narratives change during bull markets. During bear markets, people think nothing can go higher. During bull markets, people suddenly believe anything is possible. That emotional swing is why historical market data matters so much. Because crypto does not move in straight lines. It moves in cycles. And when liquidity enters the system aggressively, market caps can expand far faster than people expect. We already saw the crypto market go from under 1 trillion to over 4 trillion. That happened already, ladies and gentlemen. So when analysts discuss future expansion towards 6 trillion or even beyond, they are not talking about something unprecedented anymore. They are talking about continuation. The real question becomes, which assets capture the largest share of future growth? And that brings us to the final scenario. Now let's discuss the optimistic scenario, okay? And again, this is the highest risk, most speculative model in this video. The assumptions are total crypto market cap reaches 10 trillion. Write that down. And XRP regains its historical peak dominance of 25%. Now that 25% number sounds shocking today, but historically, XRP already achieved it before. This is what makes this scenario fascinating. Now let's run the numbers. 10 trillion multiplied by 25% gives XRP a market cap of approximately 2.5 trillion. That would place XRP around $40 per coin, meaning 1,000 XRP could be worth approximately $40,000. Now, obviously, this is the most aggressive scenario in the video, and it may take far longer than a single crypto cycle to ever happen, if it happens at all. But the key point is this. The scenario is built from historical precedent combined with market expansion, mathematics. Not random numbers, not emotional hype. Historical dominance matters, and that is why XRP remains such a heavily debated asset. Some people see massive long-term utility potential. Others believe competition limits future growth. But regardless of opinion, the math itself becomes very difficult to ignore once you start modeling larger market environments. So what is the biggest takeaway from all of this? Simple. XRP's future price is heavily tied to two variables. How large the overall crypto market becomes, write that down. And how much market share XRP captures within it, write that down. That is the real conversation, ladies and gentlemen, not random price predictions with no framework or moonboy hype. When you compare current dominance, historical dominance, and total market growth, trends, you begin to understand why some investors remain extremely bullish on XRP long-term. Even the conservative model showed the potential for substantial upside compared to current levels. The base case became dramatically larger, and the optimistic case showed how powerful market dominance can become during expansion cycles. Again, none of these outcomes are guaranteed. This is the scenario analysis based on historical data and market structure. Always do your own research, always manage risk responsibly, and never invest based purely on emotion. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Your being here shows that you are truly invested in revolutionary tech. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so we can continue to grow and learn together. If you gained something valuable today, leave a like. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comment section. Finally, please share this with someone in your network who could use this information. Thank you again for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's enjoying today and the market action. If you made it to this point, you get the candy from the Italian ice. In making today's video about these numbers, we're hoping to show people some form of compass and roadmap about this, or where this goes. I want to welcome all the new members of the Patreon, the Crypto Public Desk Monthly, all the new financial mercenaries, all the new members on the membership channel. The markets itself are operating in a highly predictive, manipulative, and rewarding and punishing situation right now. None of this is financial advice, just my professional opinion. Anyone retains any capacity. With all the news coming out that can influence directions one way or another, you have to do your best not to get cut up like sushi and keep your Gucci clarity and conviction. If the numbers that I just went over in this video don't do it for you, I do apologize. I gave you the formula and the mathematics to go over it again and look at it. That's why I don't believe in moonboy shots and different things. People ask me what I'm going to do with my own XRP and the people that retain us any capacity. We will lend it out one day when the timing is right. The world is going to change right now. We're paying attention to things that are coming out of Asia because we function all the time after the Asian Open. When the Asian Open comes, we watch the Widowmaker, then we watch what happens with bonds and yields. It tells a story. See, we're in the camp that the United States wins the AI conflict. We're in a camp that we're going to prosper from the East, the BRICS and the unit versus the West. And as you see the world changing today, it's how you position yourself with the chaos coming. Again, when the markets can be moved by a tweet, It takes total Gucci conviction, Gucci clarity not to get cut up like sushi. Why we're the remoras, we swim underneath the apex predators and we feast on the sushi. You can do this in every market. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this. It just takes conviction, clarity, discipline. So when you see where the world is going and what's going to happen in the future, and if you've been paying attention and you're new here, we do have a second half of the video where we build on what we went over yesterday. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you can see what we talk about each day building on it. What do you think is going to happen in the Middle East? I want to hear in the comment section. At some point, this probably will go kinetic again because certain parties will not be allowed to have certain ambitions, whether that be, for weapons, and certain parties will not be allowed to set up a toll booth in a strategic waterway. One party needs this to ensure its survival. The other party can't allow it whatsoever. So it is very much of a standoff. What the smart money on Wall Street's doing, or at least everyone that we talk to all day, every day, they're taking advantage of every price swing that happens in every asset class, in the futures market and the spot market. We were always in the camp that the Clarity Act was getting done. We're still in that camp. When you look at math that we went over in this video and you apply to things, it tells a story. The cryptos that we love, XRP, the Anointed One, ICP, HBAR, they play a role. I've been trading commodities half my life. Been working in the commodities industry 3/4 of my life. I have never seen such a wealth-creating opportunity, and I don't think I'll ever see it ever again. You learn, being a financial mercenary, to have true grit, true discipline, true position sizing, because you stake your career, your livelihood, your family on these. Longtime viewers know that when we developed our first platinum palladium refiners in Indonesia, the price of platinum was below gold. People thought we were nuts, what we were saying. But it worked out in a big way. It's even bigger now because of the overreaction in the markets. See, I am in the camp of the overreaction. I was never in a hype camp. The overreaction comes when the dynamic of the markets switch and people really feel they've missed out. So they flood in. I know the entire financial system is being rewritten. I see it in metals. I've been in the metal industry my entire life. I see it. I'm not saying anything's connected to anything, but we have a good thesis about what's happening and why. And there's a lot of indicators, if you know where to turn over rocks to see what's happening and why. A lot of correlations. I'm not going to go over this right here, right now, that I'm not giving away for free. If you want to hear that, come and join us, the Crypto Republic Desk Monthly. I laugh that people expect something to go to the moon overnight, but I also understand people's dispositions about why they're disappointed. This space is the most rewarding and the most punishing at the same time. I don't think anybody wants to hold the Chinese currency whatsoever. I'd have a philosophical debate about this because as far as we're concerned, their economy is a lot worse than the United States. That's why they're using the unit with gold and wanting gold locked in. The play here is to be very disciplined. The play here is to be patient. The play here is not to think about tomorrow, in a week. It's to think about December and next year. Because when this happens, we will revisit these price points and where the world is right now in other videos, future videos. And remember saying, wow, I can't believe this asset was so cheap. I can't believe that development pushed this. The world, is moving in a different direction. Globalism is gone. Regionalism exists. Through any geographic and economic transformation about trade, there's winners and losers. always. It happens throughout all of history. You don't want to be a Luddite because then you totally miss the boat. But then again, you can't risk much if you don't put much in the middle. But at the same time, if you don't put much in the middle, you can't win a lot either. Anybody that works every day hard understands why they're in this space, why they work another job, why they're listening to this video right now in their car with their kids. They want to bet it tomorrow. They don't want to be told what to do. Finance is not the lottery. Finance is not gambling. The market is not here for us. We're here for the market. Your position sizes matter. I drill certain things into everybody's heads every video. And I love reading everyone's comments that make it to the end of the video because this is where we really go into everything. But as we're at extreme levels right now, and the market is waiting on a tweet to do one thing or another, if you follow your trading plan, your strategy, your recce, you're rewarded for your patience. That's the problem. In today's world, no one has patience anymore. They want it overnight. I mean, even making these videos, people have an 8-minute attention span. What can you possibly hope to hear in 8 minutes that's going to give you any value? That's the biggest argument that I have with people that want to train AIs on us and all our trading systems. There's no human interaction with that. It's not paying attention to any form of inclination or assumptions that you may have, because inclinations and assumptions about markets are not shown in numbers. It's not. I think right now, you got to be very cautious in the markets. Like I told you before, follow the DXY. That tells you everything. But I want you to understand something right now, and this is the truth of the matter. We'll look back on these scenarios and be probably very impressed and surprised about what happened, because these price points are not going to stay here. They're not. Family offices don't want to have to get rich again. And sure as hell, the families that made the money don't want to have to get rich again. So when you think about what people do and why, that tells a very, very pure I want to say indication about what's going to happen and why. We're going to be coming out with a 4-part series about, for the channel, about what we really believe XRP is going to fix and why. I have spent a long time writing down why I think the financial system is broken. I have been writing this down since the beginning of my career in the early 90s, when I traded the Japanese carry trade myself every day. I'm blown away that we even got to this point. But I'd rather share my research and what I think and why, because I think the ramifications of what's going to happen are going to be very surprising to a lot of people. I think it pays to be patient. And I think that most people will not see when Operation Printed to Winner becomes and the rip your face off rallies come and why everything's going to change. I don't listen to the naysayers. I never would have gotten to where I was in finance and worked for the people that retain me and why. But then again, I don't expect retail people to really ever understand that. I don't really work for retail people. The one thing I would say that retail does not have is they have no patience. But with that being said, I love you all. I'll see you on the front lines. This content is for information and entertainment purposes only. Should not be taken as financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions always. Remember, the game is changing, and those who understand it first will benefit the most. Make sure on the right side of it, you have 2 choices. You can be like the crowd reacting after the move, rationalizing why they missed it, telling themselves to never let it happen again, or you can be the one who saw behind the curtain, the one who understood the infrastructure shift, the one who positioned early, not randomly, but intentionally. because some moments in history are loud, but the ones that change everything are quiet, right up until the moment they're not. And this is one of those moments. Do not blink, because the world is distracting you with noise while XRP continues developing behind the scenes and building momentum in the broader digital asset landscape. Stay sharp, stay informed, accumulate knowledge. Your move now will be remembered. This is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning. This opened your eyes. Smash that like button, ring the bell, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Turn on notifications, and most importantly, subscribe to the Crypto Public. We break down the major global banking trends shaping digital assets today, giving you context, clarity, and research you can use. Don't just watch history happen. Stay informed, stay ahead, and stay in the Republic. I love you all.